Here's my address. This is the gym I'm at on Saturdays. Show up and do what you're claiming you want to do.
And so I had a confrontation with Wes Watson. He disrespected my client in the middle of the gym and disrespected me. So we had words, and as a man, I challenged him to go outside and settle it, and he refused.
Do you guys remember when I was telling you who Wes Watson was? Well, let me remind you. He's a criminal. He goes to prison. He comes out. He lies about how long he was there because he thinks it's going to make him look cooler, right? But then he starts selling these bullshit programs to thousands of people that don't do shit. And those programs make him a millionaire. And now if you see him, he's living in a beautiful mansion. He's driving around in Bentleys and Bugattis. He's got these beautiful, beautiful girlfriends. He's got everything, right? But the thing is, it's all rented. The houses, the cars, even the sharmutas. Well, he's not happy with the video I made about him and Jeff Nippard. So much that he had to go to his Instagram and limit his posts so people can't comment what they really feel about his bullshit. Well, me and him have been going back and forth in the comments a little bit. And then he sends me a DM and tells me, here's my address. This is the gym I'm at on Saturdays. Show up and do what you're claiming you want to do. So I'm thinking in my head, maybe this can give me some content. I go there, I take a flight, I film the whole thing going to Florida. I confront him, right? So I go to respond to him, and you know what he does, this piece of shit? He blocks me like a pussy. Who sends somebody and challenges them and then blocks them after? So I posted what he sent me on my story, and somebody responds. They say, listen, John, I'm a trainer at that gym where he's working out on Saturdays, right? And I had a problem with him one time, and I even filmed it. This is what happened.
Stretch your elbows.
Stretch
your lats out, Wes. Come on. Come on. We know you're tough. Let's go.
This shit got legs.
What's that?
Big legs you got.
You want to see them?
Yeah, those are huge.
Let me see your legs.
Those are dope.
Go first, bro.
Check them out.
What do you mean? You want to flex with me?
How much you weigh?
How much do I weigh? I weigh 205 pounds.
Barely 200, yeah.
205 pounds.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah.
How old are you?
240.
240? How old are you?
How old are you?
How old are you? I asked you first, sir.
39.
39? I'm 29, motherfucker.
Okay, yeah, you should
You're a
listen.
tough guy. I do.
Listen.
I mean, I thought you were a nice guy before I thank you just now. It was a very bad impression.
You guys took it wrong. That's how I thought. Have you seen my f***ing content?
Of course I
Have
do.
you seen it? This is how I always talk.
I know.
And it's what works.
Right. It works for you, bro. But listen.
No, it works. It works.
Okay,
It works. It works.
Yeah, get the fuck out.
And then after that, he said, he challenged him. He said, let's go outside and settle this like men, right? And you know what, Wes? The little bitch pussy, do you know what he did? He went to the owner of the gym and tattletaled and said he was being called names. I'm not even kidding you.
And so I had a confrontation with Wes Watson. He disrespected my client in the middle of the gym and disrespected me. So we had words, and as a man, I challenged him to go outside and settle it, and he refused. Other words were exchanged, some derogatory comments. Make a long story short, because of the derogatory comments that were mentioned, I was then called into management from the business that I run my business out of. I'm not formally employed by this gym. I just run my business out of it. But I got called in, spoken to, and because I used derogatory comments, and AKA Wes Watson is a snitch, and went to the management and cried about it because he's got all these followers and thinks he's big, high, mighty, and powerful, that then after that, I was told that I was no longer allowed to be at my place of business where I've been paying $1,000 a month rent for the past 5 years. Once the owner and I had a heart-to-heart conversation, he noticed my side of the story, and we were able to come to terms. And I'm still allowed to be at that gym, but I'm not allowed to engage with Wes Watson because he's a bitch.
So this asshole wants me to take a flight, go down there, so he can tell on me like a little bitch? So now, it got me thinking. And I was remember that confrontation yelling match he had on stage with Andrew Wilson, and they were going back and forth and saying things.
Are you proud of who the you are?
Why
well,
look
at, are you proud? If you look in the mirror, would you guys say this motherfucker's proud of who the he is? You got 10-inch arms and tits. Men don't have tits.
No,
guys.
they go to prison where they get
fuck yeah,
they get ass.
You've never been to prison. Look,
that's what happens.
Shit you don't know.
They go to prison where they get.
You get your ass beat in front of everybody.
That's better? You think that's better?
Well, in the end, Andrew Wilson said a lot of nasty things to Wes. And what did he do? Eventually, he just went back, sat on his chair like a little bitch. It showed me he had a big mouth, but he didn't really do anything. And something else, it was funny, he said to Andrew Wilson, he goes, "This is not what real men look like."
This is not what men look like.
Let's let him
what do they
finish
look
his
like?
point.
Shit.
What do they look like? Bald prisoners? They look like?
This is the problem in society. Is people like this think they can talk to someone like me like that. They really think they can. He knows he wouldn't do shit about it, and that's the problem.
Men usually have hair. We can agree on that, too.
He has
physically.
crossed over gender barriers.
And then I'm thinking, and I'm remembering, I just saw him on Instagram with the Louis Vuitton woman's purse strapped against his chest, running around town like a fucking asshole. And he's telling Andrew Wilson, this is not what a real man looks like. I guess Wes has to teach us what real men look like. So now, you threaten me, and then what do you do when I go to respond? You block me like a bitch. Andrew Wilson says a lot of things, and what do? You sit down and you do nothing. The trainer in the gym comes and challenges you. He's 200 pounds, he's smaller than you. He says, let's go outside. What do? You tattletale on him to the owner saying he's calling you names. You do all of this, and you say Jeff Nippard is the cop caller.
You were standing there confronting him like you wanted some business, and you didn't. You should have left the gym and known you were too big of a bitch, and you were going to call the cops. You should have left, bitch, because you know you're a cop calling, bitch, and that guy's going to mangle you. This is what's wrong with society. Passive-aggressive pussies who push the buttons of beast motherfuckers and then go run into the police.
Listen, I learned in life a long time ago in high school. The people that have the biggest mouths are the biggest pussies. They do it because they want to try to intimidate you with their mouth because they're really not going to do shit in the end. And when you stand up to them, they're not going to do shit like what we're seeing with Wes Watson. So what does all of this tell us about Wes Watson, everything that we have seen, right? He rented his life, his cars, his mansion, even the sharmutas. He pretends that they're his girlfriends, and what does he do? He rents them on the escort site, right? He even has to lie about his tough prison life when we found out it's not a tough prison life, and he probably wasn't even in there as long as he said he was. So what does this all say? It tells us that anybody who went and bought his programs and listens to his bullshit is even a bigger asshole than Wes Watson himself.
So you guys, there's a video online going around of some monster-ass fool pushing some keyboard warrior princess little punk bitch by his neck because he saw him in person. I guess the guy heckles the big guy online or something, and when he seen him in person, he pushed him by his neck. You pussies are in the comments going, he should press charges. No, he should get pushed by the neck and then get his head stepped on, and everybody else should say, good bitch, don't talk shit to a monster if you're a little peon pussy